Hey there. I hope everybody's having a good day. Ordinarily when I come on here, I'm usually upbeat and happy, and that's the way I like for it to be on this channel. But today I'm not very upbeat and happy. I'm actually pretty sad. For anybody who's, excuse me, for anybody who's been watching this channel for a while, you know how many times I've talked about and even showed video clips of Big V. Well, this morning Big V was out there waiting for his breakfast as always, and I gave it to him and was happy to see him. And I went about my usual morning routine and everything, and then I went out on some errands, and I came back and I was sitting in here watching a YouTube video, and I heard my landlady outside, and she was bringing me back this, the plates that I took the cake on, and she gave me this little thing. I don't know what these are called, but they're actually really tasty. It's a fruit. So she's bringing me back this, and she started talking about the roosters, and, they come up on my patio. And I was like, yeah, and then she said, she was kind of like smiling and giggling a little bit. So I thought she was just making a joke about, how they, especially Big V, he comes up on the patio and lays on the table and on the chair and everything. But then she said, oh yeah, he's dead. I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, I was going out, opening the gate, and a scooter came really fast, and he's dead. So needless to say, I'm pretty heartbroken right now. I never in a million years dreamed that I'd fall in love with a rooster, but I definitely fell in love with that Big V. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. I thought I had cried myself out already today, but apparently not. I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. I just was like, no, And I came back inside after that, and I was kind of in a state of shock. And something said, go look out in the street and see if there's any feathers out there. And when I walked out and I looked over the fence, I could see, it's like literally right out here. I could see that there was a feather laying there. So I went outside and I got it. And this is Big V's feather. And I'm so thankful to have it, because it's all I've got besides, thankfully, video footage. He's immortalized now in my videos because I've filmed him enough times. But I was so happy that I went and I looked, and this was there. And it's breaking my heart, because it may sound silly to a lot of people. A lot of people may go, come on, give me a break, it's a rooster. Well, I never in a million years dreamed that I would ever form a relationship with a rooster, have like a friendship. But I felt like that's what was actually happening. And it's interesting because a little while back, I was Googling to find out what's the best thing to feed roosters, because I had started feeding him and like one other one that was coming around. And I wanted to know, what's the best thing to feed them, because I don't know a damn thing about roosters. So I was Googling it, and found out that, it's good to give them grains and it's good to give them corn and all that stuff. So, I was like, okay. And then I kept just clicking on the next thing and the next thing. And the next thing I know, I've spent like, I don't even know how long, probably an hour or something, learning all about roosters and how they can become very attached to their owners. They can become very close to them. They can be very loving. I mean, just all kinds of things that I never dreamed that, a rooster would do. I mean, you just see roosters most of the time, they're just out there pecking away. It's like all they do practically is just eat, eat and sleep. But I learned all this stuff and it was talking about things that you can do to try and, form a bond with a rooster and, so that they're comfortable with you and they feel safe with you and all of that. And so for months now, I have been building up this friendship with Big V, just building up this relationship. And I was actually thinking just the other day, I was looking at him and I was talking to him and I thought, I feel like I'm like this close to being able to actually sit down out there and get close enough to him to like pet him and maybe have him eat out of my hand and things like that. I mean, I was really starting to feel like that I had gained his trust enough, that maybe I could try doing that soon. I mean, I wasn't quite ready for it because I just wasn't 100% sure, but I thought, I think I'm getting close. But now I don't get that. I mean, thankfully, again, that's why I'm really glad that I was able to get this, because now I can touch him. I'm able to actually touch him. I'm just real. I've had a really rough day, really, really rough day. Once I found that out, my whole day just went, it really, I was in such a happy mood because, I mean, last night when I did that live stream, I enjoyed it so, so much. I had so much fun in that live stream, and I'm so glad I did it. And I do want to say that if anybody who may see that video, I apologize now that the audio was absolutely horrendous. It was horrible because YouTube does not allow you to preview your camera or your microphone and check it or anything before you go live. At least I didn't see anything that allowed me to do that. So I had no idea. And I talk loud on here because my microphone doesn't pick up that great. But I was using my Blue Yeti microphone on my laptop to do the live stream because that's the only way I could do it until I figure out what kind of app I can use to do it on my mobile. So yeah, I was using the Blue Yeti and I didn't even think for a while, and I thought about it later, but anyway, I know I'm getting off track. But anyway, the audio sounds horrible and I'm so, so sorry, but next time I'm going to make sure that I check everything ahead of time or try to find an app for doing it on here, which is what I originally wanted to do anyway. So anyway, so I apologize for that. But anyway, I was in a really happy mood today because I enjoyed myself so much last night. But once I found that out, I just, it just really, it really bummed me out. And I've just been in a really somber mood all day long. And, and it's really hard. And now I'm concerned about Biscuit because he's not been acting normal today. And, since he's getting a little bit older and he's lost a lot of his teeth and he has some mouth issues and stuff, I do kind of worry when he's not acting quite right. So I've been trying to keep an eye on him. And, and yesterday I took Lightning to the vet to have that big thing drained on the side of his neck. So it's just, it's kind of like it's a lot right now that I'm just like, I'm not prepared for this. And I don't want anything to happen to my cats. I mean, I'm thankful. I mean, as much as this is hurting me, I'm thankful that she didn't come and say something had happened to Lightning, because I do worry about that. I try not to let it consume me because I used to be that way when it came to a cat being outside. I used to just constantly be on edge. and I've had to try to back off of that. But I still worry about him because, he wants to be an outdoor cat. That's what he's always been. And so, yeah, I do worry about him. And I'm just thankful that it wasn't him that she was telling me that happened to. But it's like, out of all those roosters that come here, why did it have to be Big V? Why did it have to be him? I mean, I fell for him the very day that I started calling him Big V, because I was just looking at him and I was laughing because he was, just being funny, and I was cracking up, and I said, you are so loud. You've got such a big voice. And right when I said that, he went, really loud, and I busted out laughing. I said, I'm going to start calling you Big V because of your big voice. And ever since that moment, I just have been crazy about him. And every morning, he's been out there sitting up on the gate, on the part, at the top of the gate. Anyway, he's been sitting up there every day and, waiting for his food. And then as soon as I come to the window and toss it out, he comes down and eats it. And then I see him hanging out on the patio and stuff. And today was just eerily quiet. It was just too quiet around here. I love peace and quiet. I do. And for a while at the beginning, listening to all these roosters make all this racket, I was just like, oh my God. And it makes it hard to make videos during the day. I mean, there's a lot of things that, made my life more difficult. Having him out there being so freaking loud. But he's become part of my heart. He's become part of my family as far as I was concerned. I mean, I've been kind of talking about how I've adopted him because, he was always hanging around here. Once I, started paying him attention and talking to him and everything, he'd always look at me like, what is this person doing? Because I don't think anybody's ever talked to him before. So, I don't know. It's been a really, really rough day emotionally because I was not expecting that. And, and he was unique because I've shown the videos on here of all these different roosters that come out there, and they've got all these beautiful colors and everything. They're beautiful roosters, but he was unique. He actually didn't have all those colors and everything. He's just, this was his tail feather. And then his other feathers were a lighter color, but they were all kind of brown, and if you ever go back and watch any of my videos, you can see, he was not a colorful rooster, and he stood out. His big voice and just the way he looked and his personality just stood out to me. And I don't know. I hate that happened. I hate it. And I hope tomorrow I'm going to feel better and a lot more upbeat and everything. And, I'm sorry that I'm being a downer today because I don't want to be. I really don't. I really want to come on here and, be laughing and happy and upbeat and everything. But, unfortunately, sometimes life throws us curveballs and, we have to deal with some unpleasant things. And I'm trying my best not to worry too much about Biscuit, but anytime I see anything even slightly off with one of my cats, I can't help but just get knots in my stomach, and I just get really on edge, and I worry and I stress because, it's like they're my life. They are my family. They are my kids. They are everything to me. And, and it scares me when I think about, something happening to one of them. And I know that it could happen at any time, and I've dealt with that many, 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 many times throughout the years, but it never gets any easier. It never does. It just doesn't. And it always upsets me when I hear people, when you lose a pet or something and somebody comes along and says, oh, it was just a cat. It was just a dog, or it was just a rooster. What are you getting so upset about? You can always get another one. Well, yeah, I can always get another cat or another dog, and there's a lot of other roosters out here that I'm still going to keep feeding that show up. But you can't replace that personality, that entity that was that pet or that rooster that gave you something that no other animal's going to give you, because they've got their own unique personality, their own unique something that makes you love them, and that's why, for me, anytime I lose a pet, it's always devastating for me. And it is so hard because for me, it really feels like I've lost a family member, because they are my family. They really, truly are. And I've kind of felt like that about Big V out there, because I'm always looking for him. If I haven't heard him for a while, I'll look out the window. And most of the time, I either see him out here on the patio or over there on the little patio outside the vacant bungalow. He'll be laying there sleeping or something. But yeah, today was just, it was too quiet. It was too quiet around here. And I could definitely feel the lack of his presence. So anyway, I'm sorry again for not talking about anything real happy, but I know for most people, this probably won't be that upsetting for you to hear. It's like, oh, well, okay. But, for me, it's a big deal, because I really cared about that guy. And I don't even know if it was a guy. It could have been a girl rooster. I don't know. I don't know the difference in this stuff. I don't know enough about him. I mean, yeah, I read a lot about him that day that I was looking up the food, but I don't know enough about him to know how to tell which one's female, which one's male. Are there females? Are they all males? I don't know, honestly. But whatever the case, male, female, it doesn't matter to me. I loved him. So anyway, so yeah, there's um, an empty place in my heart right now. It just feels kind of lonely. So I'm going to have to get used to the quiet again. It's crazy. I mean, it's like peace and quiet's wonderful. And there are days when I'm just like, Big V, could you please shut up? Because I'm trying to concentrate on this, or I'm trying to do a video, or I'm trying, something. And, he's out there making a bunch of racket. But it's way too quiet now. So anyway, I guess I'll stop rambling on, especially since I'm not talking about anything real pleasant. But, for anybody else that might have lost a pet recently, or ever, that still feels the pain of it, you're not alone. That, when there's a lot of us that really, truly have a special, deep love for animals. And, when certain animals come into your life, whether they're yours or whatever, because I mean, he wasn't mine, but he still really meant something to me. And it's just it's a hard thing to get through, but we get through it. Like I said, I've been through it many, many, many times, where my heart's been completely just shattered over the loss of a pet. And and it's a little bit of a healing process, but we do get through it. We get past it, and eventually, things will get better. And I'm going to go out tomorrow. If the weather's good, I'm going to go out and I'm going to look for a frame, because I want to put this in a frame and keep it, because I feel fortunate that I was able to get this. And I'm just really thankful that she came and told me. I'm really glad that she came and told me, because I would have been wondering and worrying, where in the world is he at? And, not knowing what was going on. And I would have missed the chance to get that feather. So anyway, well, I hope you all have a wonderful day. And, take a second today to think about any animals that might mean something to you, and give them a little extra love, and let them know that you really appreciate them. And I hope you all will be back again tomorrow, so that hopefully I can be in a better mood and happy and make you laugh or something. So Anyway, take care, everybody, and I will talk to you later. Bye.